ready to go? You're ready to go? Okay. All right. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, all board members present. So we'll move on to the consent agenda. The minutes from the October regular board meeting and the November 9 special board meeting. Which are
I move that we approve consent agenda. Support.
all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public comments. Looks like we have members of the public this evening. So we will move on. Committee reports. We have several. Financial reports.
Financially just met prior to this meeting. It was extremely short. The main portion of it. Our audit presentation was not available. Our auditor not made it. So that is going to be tabled until the next meeting week of December. Other things we did touch on the technology security resolution. What that is the tech millage. We all know it was a county-wide millage 9 years ago, and this resolution is showing our support to have a county-wide renewal of that millage. So it's something that's county-wide specific to another North Muskegon millage. And then that will be done next spring, I believe. And then Mark has a presentation to do about truth in taxation resolution, a budget update based upon the new tax income we've got. Okay. That's it.
Thanks, Steve.
Policy didn't need to be on there, Will.
Policy did not need it. Academic affairs.
Yeah, we had a presentation from Tina Gallo regarding College Month data. It seemed like it was a really big success. They had activities that were district-wide. There's ongoing support always through our counselors, and we had the return of in-person college visits this year, so that was really exciting for them. We also talked about SAT data. We got an update on the SAT information, and we continue to outpace the state numbers, and additional cohort data is being pulled for the review for us. The last thing we talked about was an AP update. We reviewed the current potential future AP class offerings, and we discussed the AP rotation schedule and the teacher AP certification process.
Thank you, Carolyn. Personnel.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Want me to take it? Okay. Yep, we, it was right about the time of the support staff contract being finalized, so we went over that final revision or version before it went to the board vote. And then we also just had some ongoing discussion of any potential building project that we might be able to do, and just some discussion on what that might look like, and what some of the board members at that meeting might be looking for. Those are the two topics.
Thank you. And it does not look like Lillian is here this evening, so we don't have a student report. Next on the presentations, as Steve mentioned, the audit presentation is going to be in December, so we'll pass that by and head right on into Mark, talking about truth and taxation.
Don't worry, just because the auditors have pushed it twice, there's no issues. I mean, it's not like Justin and I were just like, when you get pushed it twice, don't worry. So, because in June we approved a tax roll of 17.63 some mils, and now last week the voters approved that additional 4 mils, we have to have another lovely meeting. So I'm gonna keep it short, especially since now I'm the last thing holding you guys from, oh boy. Uh-oh, CJ,
You're doing volume.
where do I go?
There you
I can't do these. Look at this. So basically, kind of what I did was I took the same format that you saw in June, and now, so current and proposed. Really, our current values for the non-PRE and the commercial personal property hasn't changed, at least the assumptions, right? These all get trued up in May of 2023. Our operating debts, our debt is still the same, operating is still the same. So also, one of the action items is the L4029. So you still have to show the 18 at 17.6326 mils. However, the current 4 operating, so we are levying 4, but we can't levy more than 18 combined of these two rates, okay? So that's where the 17.63 plus the 0.36 equals 18, and that's what it is. So the next year, if we get rolled back again, and let's just say it's a 0.99, the 0.99 is gonna get impacted on the 17.63, and then also the 4, and then the combine of those two will equal 18. We should be fine for, till we get to 2030. That's the whole point of the 4. The sinking fund still says the same. So basically, the difference is the stuff highlighted in red. We're gonna get about a $13,000 increase in general fund, but as Christy and I both talked, it was $1,000, or no, how much was it?
$1,322.
Just to that one little piece of mail, or to put the thing in MLive, that, hey, look at how many people showed up. Just to say, hey, we have this meeting. So, like I said to Chrissy, you gotta spend money to make money, so we're still net 12,000 ahead. So, next one. Wait, let's see if I can do it yet. Oh, look at that. So the other one is Kurt and I, as we agreed to the NMEA salary formula, I kind of wanted to show we have real numbers now, to kind of show you how this whole formula works. Because it's easy to put it on paper, but now you can actually see the numbers. So, to kind of remind everyone, 4 factors that we really don't control: count, foundation allowance, ORS, which is Office of Retirement Services, and health insurance, the cost of health. The one that we somewhat control is count, somewhat, okay? You compare the base year, which was 2022, last year, then you add up all either the positives and the negatives, comes up with a dollar amount, use the dollar amount to the formula, and it basically generates what you get. So let's start count. We had last year, base number was 966.6. Now we're at best guess right now, 953.64. It's a decrease of 12.96 FTEs. Foundation allowance went from, so the base foundation was 8,700, but there's some ORS compensation that gets put in it. That's why it's not a straight number, it's in dollar. So our foundation went up $404. So the difference is if you take the 966 multiplied by the 8,900, and then take the 953 multiplied by the 9,300, the difference is $269,710.05. So that's the positive. Next, the insurance. So I put negatives because that's usually takes away. So base number last year, the district spent $844,000 in health insurance. Just the health insurance, not the dental, vision, life, and LTD. This year, estimated $854,556.79. That's a negative $9,625. So we don't control it, but it's a cost that we have to incur, so that's why it's a negative. ORS for the first time in a while, net impact of $0. The rates did not change for that base dollar amount. So when you add the 969 or the 269, excuse me, and subtract the $9,600, the total dollar when you come up with the formula is $260,084.39. So in essence, those 4 factors, that's the additional revenue that North Muskegon brings in. So then, nice lovely chart that I have, you figure out, so the net impact was 260. Now you try to find where does that number fall in. The number falls in right with the 242 and the 287. So that means that the teachers get a 1% increase, effective December 1st, retro back to the start of the school year. So I'm confident that these, even with a 1-2 kind of adjustment, or with some of the state aid status reports coming out, I'm confident that even if we have some wiggle room in these numbers, The teachers will receive a 1% increase effective December 1st. So Deb and the union has been shared with this information. They're not asking any questions. Deb and I will be meeting, I think, on Wednesday to kind of formulate this. As you know, this is the first time. So a lot of their members will be asking, how did they come up with this? I put hyperlinks into a lot of the spreadsheet that I got all these numbers from, so, and I think that, yes. I just gotta have one funny picture, so, yeah. Especially I was expecting to go after Patrick, so I figured that's kind of where, so, yes, any questions on both of those topics? Good.
I wanted to say thanks to Mark. He's worked really hard on this piece of the overall negotiations, and I think what it showed is that the equation can work, and it takes emotion out of it. It takes some of the guesswork out of it, and it puts in an equation that factors in the things that impact us, and we don't really have control over. So it makes a lot of sense. And I think as it came down, that seemed to work, 1% raise and with all those factors involved. So it'll be a nice, right after Thanksgiving, thank you to our teaching staff.
And we have one more year of that. So next year we'll be doing the same thing. Again, you compare back to the 2022 year with now the 24 numbers, and it formulates again.
Thanks, Mark.
No problem.
Thank you, Mark.
I just love, can you leave that picture up? Because it's always just funny.
Okay, on to new business. First on is the exception of the financial audit, which of course we don't have. We're just gonna table that and move that on to the next meeting. Yes. Yeah, we should probably motion that to table it.
Yeah.
We should motion to table it.
I would motion to table the acceptance of the 2021-22 financial audit till next meeting.
Support.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and opposed? Next, approval of truth and taxation, resolution number 2.
So Mark just went over.
Just had a nice presentation on that.
Along with the 4029 to support it, which is the next item.
That's the next item.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I'll move to approve the truth and taxation resolution number 2.
Support?
Moved and seconded. Is there any further questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Next is the 4029, approval of the 2022 tax rate request L49. Also just attached and somewhat reviewed.
I'll motion the approval of the 2022 tax rate request in Form L4029.
Support. It's been moved and seconded to approve the tax request. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? All right, thank you. Next, first reading of the September 2022 policy updates.
Yep, the policy committee has seen these, and they're ready for the full board now for review. And we'll take, as has been the practice in the past, we'll take input from now, since you're just getting them recently, and then until the next board meeting, get answers to any questions anyone has, and then at the December board meeting, if there's no further questioning needed and everyone's in support of it, it'll be up for second reading and also approval. There wasn't any, it was a lot of law update items that are really, I don't want to call them no-brainers, but things that are definitely recommended by the attorneys and Neil rep.
Will and I were looking
Vern
for
wishes us
it.
What's that?
Will and I were looking
Trying
for
to
it.
show.
You'll just have the numbers in the.
Yeah.
packet, and you'll be able to, Christie's will have access for everybody to go in and read the specific ones.
Right. All right. Back to the front here.
Yeah, it's been a little bit, we'll resend it so that everyone has them.
All right,
Yep.
okay. Okay, so that's just the first reading, so we
First,
don't have to
yeah.
approve anything there.
Nope.
And next is the approval of the ISD Technology Security Millage Renewal Resolution.
Yeah, I don't know that I need to say anything more than what Steve did a great job with his finance committee report. That summed it up. This is a continuation of what the county supported in the past, and we're signing up to say we want to be involved again.
Did you say that certain districts have already approved this?
I'm assuming that there were earlier, November board meetings, I know last week. So all of the districts have agreed to approve this resolution this month, or it has to be approved through to the, and back in your minutes to the ISD no later than mid-December, it might be December 30th, so all districts have committed to passing the resolution in support of the county election.
Great. Are there any other questions or comments on the millage renewal? Could have a motion.
I move that we approve the MAISD Technology Security Military Resolution.
Support?
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? All righty. Completes the new business for the evening. Next, we have some information on the Doris Education Foundation. Some glances back and forth between people to
Well,
see
it's-
who's going to be presenting the announcement.
So, well, I'll present the usual stuff first. So our newsletter is out with information about our fall grants. It was, I believe that was emailed to the district-wide, right, today? Okay, and it also hit social media. It's exciting to see the things that our staff's able to bring into the classrooms, that our community and our supporters have been able to provide. It is the end of the year, and our end of the year push is starting. And again, this year, I am going to ask for support from everybody on this board and from the administration. Again, it's where we definitely value your financial support, but it's also a symbolic support of supporting what the Education Foundation does and what it can bring to our students and to our staff. And then the other piece of news that's been out there in a couple of different places is that our benefactor, Dorothy Wilson, who I think all of you have been to our summer parties, and you probably remember her, passed away this year and left us a substantial gift, of which we still don't know exactly what it entails or what the limitations are or what the exact dollar amount is. We did receive the first payment on that recently, so that was really exciting, but we're not going to get the rest of it until sometime next year. And then we're working with the Community Foundation about when those funds actually would become available to us and how they become available to us. And as we get information, we're going to continue to kind of roll that out to the community so that they understand where we are, because this is really kind of changes the landscape a little bit for us. And so we're really excited to see what this brings. And we really don't know the answers to that yet, because there's just so many variables that we don't know, we don't understand. But we've had a lot of really great discussions. So, anything else?
No, I think you got it.
Okay. You got all the pieces I wanted. And this is what you should put my people on the camera.
Great, thank you for the update and the continued excellent efforts with regard to the foundation. Next, we'll move along to board comments. We started that in last time.
Oh, of course. Well, Mark and Jessica, thank you for all your work again. I feel like we're always thanking you, but you guys are always doing so much for us, so we really appreciate it. I'm excited about the NEF information and where we are, and hopefully finding out more soon, but other than that,
I would just echo those comments.
Yeah, and I actually thanked you last week for your great presentations. I should have held on to that for this.
to one up every time.
Mark's okay to continue compliments. believe us.
Okay.
So-
I don't know if I'll be able to get home the door.
He will not be able to.
That's a
So-
risk I
He probably told Patrick not to come.
Right.
He didn't want Patrick stealing the
Steal his
show.
thunder, yeah.
So,
That's so true.
that's funny. So, and I also do want to thank everybody that supports the NEF, the Education Foundation, and I forgot to throw some huge kudos to Dorsey Sherman, who is our chairperson and has done a phenomenal job the last 2 years, and we're in great, I mean, her leadership with this, the new impact of this donation, she's the right person. So, thank you, Dorsey.
I would echo all those. Also, I wanted to thank Mark and Kurt regarding the MEA contract. There's probably only one person that knows it best in this room, and that's Mrs. B, because she sat on both sides of negotiations before. But that's never fun. It's just kind of a nasty situation to be pitted against, the teachers' union. We obviously try to work together, but negotiations are never fun. This solution, I applaud the teachers for ratifying it. The solution takes a ton of that out, maybe not all or everything, but a ton of that out, and allows us to do business the best we can do business while still respecting, honoring, cherishing our teachers and the value they provide to the district. So anyway, good feelings to have this contract underway, and hopefully we can remain using it for years to come.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Yeah, I would definitely like to echo that. It's changed, that whole process has changed a lot in the 15 or so years that I've been on the board. And it is a good feeling. So with that, I'll pass it on to Ben.
I was going to say a few things about the audit, but we'll push that to the next meeting. I was telling Kurt earlier, yeah, maybe. I was telling Kurt earlier that my daughter has actually started using the new hot lunch program, whereas before it was always bringing her own lunch. So I think that's a testament to kind of finding ways to get more bang from our buck. And so kudos to Kurt for finding ways to really maximize our investment. I haven't heard much about the transportation one, but we'll talk about that. Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. Exactly. So real happy those are panning out the way they have. Looks good on paper, but
Okay. Mrs. B?
I would like to thank the community for supporting us through the past election last week. And I feel that the board that we have will continue to work well together. And the community will see that too. And go north.
I had a couple, one, we had a special board meeting recently, and main focus of that was to approve the support staff's contract, and in that, at that meeting, the question of potentially restructuring our board agenda to have public comment a couple different times came up, and I just wanted to say that, we're looking into that. We're looking at what other districts do, looking at trying to find, best practices out there. More to come on that, but I do want to reiterate, we do have a solid structure right now that allows for anyone at any time to reach out to their school administrator to get information as they need to in real time, or at least really close to real time. And if there's still concerns, we would want that addressed at the board level, but Definitely, if anyone ever has any questions in the community, they can reach out to me or any of the other administrators as a starting point, and then we'll see where it takes us from there. So I just wanted to remind that. That's always a good option. And then I wanted to just say a big thank you to Mr. Allen, because it was his role last year that helped us be identified with 3 other schools. So 4 schools in the state were recognized for their work with the PSAT 8th grade test by the Office of Education Assessment and Accountability. It says OEAA monitors schools during state assessment administration. This monitoring, which includes in-person observations and review of test administration, planning, and documentation, is done to review the school's test administration for quality and integrity, as well as to help districts and schools have successful assessment administrations. OEAA recognizes the following schools for having displayed professional test administration practices while being monitored during the 2022 assessment administration. And like I said, we were one of 4, North Muskegon Middle School, for our 8th grade PSAT testing. We were recognized by that group, so I thought that was pretty cool. And the really neat part about it, one of our parents, Miss Bain, if she's online right now, I'm not sure if she is or not, but is who made sure that I applauded us for that. She does this work at Fruit Corp, and she's one of our one of our moms with sons her kids. Well, just graduated one and another one coming up, and she thought that was pretty neat that we were in the spotlight is what the name of the newsletter is. So that's all I had. Thanks.
Good. Thank you, Kurt. There's nothing else that anybody would like to say?